Kwanzaa is a time of learning, family, and celebration. And it's always been important for my family, like when I was growing up, but also just throughout the years to connect with my family. I'll read passages to my granddad. I'd read passages to my mom on the phone, and we'd talk about, like, okay, today was Umoja Unity, especially if I wasn't with them. So I just wanted to present to you Kwanzaa and yeah, talk about it. During the week of Kwanzaa, families and communities come together to share a feast, to honor the ancestors, affirm the bonds between them, and to celebrate African and African American culture. Each day, we light candles to highlight the principle of the day and to breathe meaning into those principles. We go about doing that with various activities, so that can include reciting the sayings or writings of great Black writers and thinkers, poets, listening to different music that's really inspired by the diaspora, as well as enjoying different foods of the diaspora. So the table that you might see associated with Kwanzaa, and I'll picture one here. It's usually decorated with essential symbols of Kwanzaa, including the candle holder, the kanara, the mkeka, which is like the mat, muhundi, the corn that represents like children, mazao, the fruit to represent the harvest, and zawadi, which are the gifts. And so you might also see colors of the Pan-African flag here on that table. Red is the struggle, black is the people, and green is the future. I'm thinking about this song called Rally Round the Flag by Steel Pulse, and I'll talk about that later as well. But these colors were first proclaimed to be the colors for all people of the African diaspora by Marcus Garvey. And so Kwanzaa has principles, the 7 principles, which is Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Jama, Nia, Kumba, and Imani. And I just wanted to spend time going through days 1 through 3 and having like opportunity for reflection. And yeah, so we'll start with Umoja. Umoja, unity. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. So the song for reflection for this day is Worth His Weight in Gold, or Rally Round the Flag by Steel Pulse. Like I mentioned, I love that song. And then the thought of the day comes from Toni Morrison's Beloved, and I'll put it up here. But Baby Suggs is giving a sermon and a clearing. So Baby Suggs is a woman who's experienced a lot. Like, she's birthed a whole lot of kids, about 9 kids, and each of them are sold into slavery except for one, essentially. And she has this reputation of being a healer in her community. So despite the physical, spiritual suffering that she goes through and experiences in her life, she has this ability to maintain an open heart and continue to nurture despite everything she goes through. And she's also known for preaching or speaking to people's trauma, speaking to people's spiritual conditions, and really encourage them and get them to reflect on things. So here's her quote. Here she said, in this here space, this place, we flesh that weeps, laughs, flesh that dances on bare feet in grass. Love it hard. Yonder, they do not love your flesh, they despise it. They don't love your eyes, they just as soon pluck them out. No more do they love the skin on your back, yonder they flay it. And oh, my people, they do not love your hands. They only use, tie, bind, chop off, and leave empty. Love your hands, love them. Raise them up and kiss them. Touch others with them, pat them together. Stroke them on your face, because they don't love that either. You gotta love it. You. And no, they ain't in love with your mouth. Yonder out there, they will see it broken and break it again. What you say out of it, they will not heed. What you scream from it, they do not hear. What you put into it to nourish your body, they will snatch away and give you leavings instead. No, they do not love our mouth. You got to love it. This is flesh I'm talking about here. Flesh that needs to be loved. Feet that need to rest and to dance. Backs that need support. Shoulders that need arms. Strong arms, I'm telling you. And oh, my people out yonder, hear me. They do not love your neck unnoosed and straight. So love your neck. Put a hand on it. Grace it. Stroke it. Hold it up. And all your inside parts that they just as soon slop for hogs. You got to love them. That dark liver. Love it. Love it. And the beating heart. Love that too. More than lungs that have yet to draw free air. More than lungs that have yet to draw free air. More than your life-holding womb and your life-giving private parts. Hear me now, love your heart, for this is the prize. And then today's recipe, like the recipe for Umoja, was meant to be dates, figs, and milk. Do with that what you will. I've had it before. It's good. That wasn't convincing, I know. So usually you would start all this whole exchange of information and dialogue by saying habari gani, which in Swahili is what's the news, and then you'd respond Umoja, like unity. And so again, this is the first principle of Kwanzaa. It's Umoja. It's a principle that reminds us that when we come together to live, work, share, and learn, we're stronger. And so in this children's activity, and I'll put links below, you can talk about what unity means to you, why it's important. You can talk about what you enjoy doing with others in your family, school, or community, like what promotes that for you. For me, I decided to do a reflection, and so I kind of just asked myself, like, what does unity mean to you? How do you work on unity within your community? And to me, it's looking at one as another. Not just all of us being together, but seeing ourselves in and as one another. From humans to non-humans, more than humans around us. That's what unity means to me. If unity is this deeper sense of togetherness, I often try to show myself and those around me that we are not all that different. I tried to address it even with this election. I wrote about it on Substack, and I'll link that below too. Regardless of the situations, of the challenges, I think I was just trying to remind people that you're needed and there's more you can do and share and be by the grace of God in this world. And I try to emphasize that with the students I work in research, within the Black Cultural Center, but also within my family. I try to encourage the downtrodden stranger and, like, quote unquote, go out of my way. It's really, it's along the path. I feel like there's like this saying, like, there's the path and then there's flowers, stay on the path. It's on the path. I don't feel like it's too much to help somebody or have a conversation or smile at somebody or listen, especially when I see that people need it. And I feel like that contributes to unifying folks, because it's just like, I feel like those random smiles, the random hugs, like, I feel like some people are like, and because I've been in that situation, and it's like, oh, yo, that person sees me and they see me. Like, if you can be like, how do I want to word this? Like, when I realize that, yo, someone sees me like that, to be like, you're doing great, or you look so great, or just encouraging, like, and I'm like, whoa, they saw me enough to see that I really needed that encouragement. And like, it's just like we're seeing each other in a sense. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Umoja, unity.